a little bit about how we can develop some of these same ideas into some fill ideas. Alright, so we're going to use the same concept that I was just doing, playing between a groove and a fill. Alright, so I'm going to go from a 4/4 groove into a fill. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the right hand pattern that I was originally using on the hi-hat and I'm going to develop it around the toms. So if I play the old pattern that we started with, the second pattern we worked on, which was, and I just take that right hand and I move it around the toms like so, it's going to sound like this. One more time. So I go from a groove into the fill like that. Now, next up, we can start to incorporate some of the accents that we had from the original snare grooves and try to bring them back in with the toms. So if I move in, instead of playing the second tom, I'm going to play it on the snare drum as an accent. So it's going to be like this. One more time. So we do a straight groove into the fill. Next idea, we can play the other accent we did, which is we're going to play the two toms and then to the snare, and then I'm going to use the same idea, but I'm going to move it down a set, so it's going to start on the second tom and the floor tom. So I'm going to use the first two, and then a snare accent, and then the second two, and a snare accent. Sounds like this. Mixed up the last one. If you want to mix in the left-handed pattern, the accent that we've had on the of one, then you would use the same right-handed pattern that we had for the first fill. Sounds like this. With the accent in on the left hand on the of one, it sounds like this. Again. So remember, you can also use these as 2-beat fills rather than 4-beat fills. You just do half of the fill. Sound like this. Any of those combinations, you can shorten it down to 2-beat fill. So as you get a little bit more comfortable with all this stuff, you can start to incorporate the fills and all the different orchestrations that you had at the same time. So we can kind of use some of the groove concepts and the fill concepts. One of the things I like to do is move the right hand from the ride cymbal into the toms on the right side, or the right hand from the hi-hat into the toms on the left side. So I can use these two toms or these two toms with the left hand, depending on how I do it. One of the other ways I like to develop these linear patterns is to sort of turn them into a tribal or jungle groove, so to speak, or a tom pattern. So what we can do is we can split the hands up between two toms and bring the right or left hand in as an accent depending on how we wanted to do it. using the same combinations of hands and feet that we had before. Just split between 2 surfaces or 3 surfaces depending on how comfortable you are with the pattern. So let's try it out just playing the 5-3 between the floor tom and either your first or second tom depending on how comfortable it is for you. If I move the right hand in on the and of 1 and also again on the and of 3 like we did originally from the hi-hat, it sounds like this. If you move it to the E of 2 like we had it as well, it would be or the of 1, the left hand comes down from the first tom or the second tom to the snare. Mix those up. Sounds like a bunch of different things where you could, move the right hand in from the floor tom and move the left hand from the snare.